Hello, everybody, and welcome to another exciting episode of the Jack the Lad podcast. Welcome back, Matty.
Thank you for being here again.
That's all right. If any of you haven't listened to last week's episode 75, just jump back on that, and then you'll understand what's going on episode 76. So in the last episode, we were talking about obviously how you got into arm wrestling as a young, sprightly 16-year-old.
Exactly.
And that you know obviously you competed very well in that. You started at your club, which wasn't too close, and then we got into your early teens of your competing. So do you want to just carry us on from there?
Yeah, sure. We can go ahead. So it was like not so I get more and more used to my sport, to the technique, and get the small hints of the whole stuff. Of course, got a little older, get better in arm wrestling, and then I become also like international successfully. So guys, the first international success out of Germany was I got on this international tournament in Belgium. I got like a third place on a pack class. That was like a big thing for me. And then after in 2006, we got this like very popular German tournament. It's called Over the Top, like the Over the Top movie. And during this time, that was my first big international success when I won this tournament with just 19 years. So that was big thing, and I was very happy.
Yeah, nice. So when you're going into that, then like how with your competing, obviously it's going up from when you're at the sort of local level, so to speak. Do you then go to sort of a regional sort of a meet, and then if you win that, then you go to the German?
So depends on. So German championships are pretty. You don't have like some regionals or some stuff. So, but these are the trials for the German national team. So if you're successful, if you win this one, or if you go top three on the other point, then you're in the team for European or World Championships. But the rest, like this international tournament, if you like on the level, then you can enter it, but you don't have to qualify really for this one. But that's more like an idea of the club. So your coach or whatever says if you're ready. So, and if you're entering too young, then you lose 2 times. So, and you don't. So I saw people even like with experience going for world championships to Brazil, and they lose 2 times left, 2 times right, and then they go home again, and that's not cool. And you spend that much money, so that's why you have to be ready and prepared for the whole tournament and championships. So that's advice normally from the clubs and from the coaches. So just go there if you're ready. If you have to lose something, yeah. Money or time.
I mean, going there though, it's the unknown, isn't it? I suppose as well. There's always going to be, I mean, someone's got to lose.
Got you, exactly. But that's why even if you're prepared, this can happen to you. So that's why make sure that you get like in the best conditional form or whatever, or choose wisely if you can go or don't you. And everybody is like, and that's a very very fast sport. So it's not like you get also like some 2 or 3 minute matches, but 90% of the matches are over after 2 seconds in the competition. But the real fight starts before this ready go signal. So if you fight for the right position before, so that's always like, but very fast. So you don't have like 90 minutes to bring it around. So you just have this small amount of time.
Talking then about obviously the fight lengths, what has been your sort of longest fight that you've had?
Fight? Different. So I can remember. So it's like time flows in these matches, so you think it's much longer than it is actually. So the longest fight I saw was like 9 minutes, but also like with fouls, with pulling again. But you have to think about the whole stuff. It always like looks cool to get a long fight and then win it, but if you go for world championships or whatever and you win one fight, you have 7 others. So that's why you have to save your energy. And don't know what my longest was, but if you like put the whole stuff to a couple of minutes, probably if you like reset and then grip, and then you have a foul, your opponent has a foul, but then your muscles are blow up so fast because you're always under pressure. And I can tell you, I guess is judo and classic wrestling and boxing, but you don't have longer body contact in any other sports than arm wrestling, because you're always like on pressure and holding hands with your opponent.
Yeah.
And not in a good way.
No. Yeah, I imagine the lactic acid buildup is substantial. So once you've had your international tournament,
What was
gone
it?
well. So once you've competed in your international tournament, you've had your first podium at international level.
That was in first in 2006 in Belgium, and then after it, I won this over the top tournament, also like an international tournament, also like in 2006. That was like the first successes in international tournaments, and then it's like you can choose like a little bit like tennis or whatever. So you always like in every country like get like Dutch International Open, German International Open, and then you can Polish International Open. Then you can choose your tournaments, where to go, and what's fitting for you in your calendar or whatever on your agenda. So that was like that's pretty basically like if you go get successful in arm wrestling or want to be successful, then first you go for the German championships or German tournaments, and then you go abroad out of the country. And I did this as well a couple of times, Dutch, whatever around Germany.
So moving on then into you German champs. How many times have you won that?
Now I'm at number 13, I guess. So yeah, sometimes you use championships, but in the senior classes I'm like at 10 or something. Yeah,
so
a lot.
13 times. And the German chat, is that just a once a year sort of a thing, or is that?
Yeah, it's just once of a year. So you just have one. You have just one opportunity to win this, and I don't pull 70 kg in German championships anymore. So I last 2 years I won the 80 kg class. Then I won a couple of times the 75 kg class. I got some podiums in the 90 kg class. Because we try to my guys from my club. I let them enter the 70 kg class, and then I step up. Or at least you have to say, if you want to be successful in German championships, you have to. If you want to be successful in world or European championships on this high level, then you have to win the German championships and have to be what else 50% better than. So that's why I try to get used to get some hard fights in the higher classes. Yeah, that was especially like the last years.
So when was the first time that you won the German champs?
I guess it was in 2007.
2007
or 2008.
I think it was 2008.
Yeah, then probably you're right. So I'm not. I'm not sure.
We had a little quick discussion off of air just to get.
Yeah. We had this off camera, so that's why I was checking again. That's like that's yeah. Like
I
want to keep the audience that I'm very grounded. So that's why I try to say, oh, I don't know when it was, but I know this exactly. It was in 2000.
No, you should. The achievements that you've achieved, you should be shouting from the rooftops about. When you won it is when you won it. Usain Bolt doesn't tell people he won it on a different year.
Yeah, that probably he just knows the time. But if you, but it was if it would be my only German champion, I probably would know it. But yeah,
they melt into one.
I go for excuses.
So 2008, you win your first one.
Yeah.
And so what's from there then? So obviously once you've won the Germans, obviously you're stepping up into international thing. How are you doing in them in sort of 2008?
I went for, if I can remember correctly, I went to Norway for the European Championships. Didn't pull well because got some different kind of technique that this didn't went well, and then I went for first time for some kind of different format. So we have like classic tournaments where you like pull different rounds with different people, and then you go like for example, like in boxing or whatever, for super matches where you pull like an arm wrestler for 6 rounds. So it's the same guy, and then you can arrange something, structure something, and then I go to Manchester for a series called Arm Wars. That was like, and they wanted to build it up for youth sport, like classic also not like classic wrestling, but this kind of American wrestling stuff. So with some nicknames and some stuff, and they asked me, so what should be your nickname? And as I'm big in comics, and I thought about what could be a good nickname, and said, damn, there's a Hellboy with this massive white stone hand, and that should work perfectly. So that's why I choose the name Hellboy, and I became known in the sport for Hellboy, and then got some kind of tournaments for or matches for youth sport during this time with international guys. Yeah, that was the next years before I got my injury. Yeah, so that was like the next years.
So you've just mentioned it there.
Yeah.
About your injury, which happened in 2010, I believe.
You're right, probably. Yeah, you're right. Yeah, it happened to the end of 2010.
So, what was the injury then?
So before I got some smaller stuff, inflamed tendons, but never like a break or another hexagon or some ripped small muscles. That was the only stuff that happened. And in the end of 2010, I was pulling like it was a heavyweight guy, and then I feel something smashing, cracking, whatever in my hand. So, and I got this problems that I couldn't lay on a chair or on a table forever, so I couldn't take any pressure on my hand palm inside your hand. So basic hand
palm of your hand.
Yeah, exactly.
Palm of your hand.
So that was like I couldn't put any pressure on this. So that's why I said, okay, then maybe I should take a break. Took a break. Still have problems. I was still competing a little. Yeah. Try to enter the world championships as well, and some tournaments, but directly after like 2 fights or whatever, I couldn't close my hand. So it was like so big pain in it. So, and then I tried to get it fixed. So I went to university, hospital, they putting some x-ray on it, some MRT on it, so the whole stuff. And then they checked out, and there were like 2 of my basic hand bones. You like in your knee and in your hand, you got like this kind of basic bones, and they are responsible for the movement in your hand and that everything works. And they are normally separated. And they told me, okay, Mr. Schlitte, your hand bones, they are too popped together. And they told me, we don't know if they pop together for your whole life, but that's a problem which is different now here. And I said, okay, so what we can do now? Yeah, we can do a surgery on it, and we can separate them again. And we don't know exactly if you open it how strong they are popped together. So probably we use a knife, or probably we use a saw. I said, okay, all for the bigger goal to be back on the arm wrestling table. But then I will be back in how much time? Maybe something, we don't know how long does it take, but maybe it gets after it worse, or maybe they are starting, if you bring them out of the league, say maybe it get worse as well. So, and then I was thinking, I had some hard hours, and then I said, okay, I will not do this, because the risk is, in my opinion, too high for the sport, where I don't get any money with it, and the risk is too high for a young man. So that's why I canceled it. Yeah, and during the next months, I did nothing, no training, no whatever. And then the university hospital give me also some kind of contacts to some very good physiotherapists. That's the word also. Yeah.
Physiotherapists. Yeah.
They starting to move my basic arm bones with some kind of therapies, and I got some medis. Then one guy, so from every doctor and from every guy, I got some advices. So he said, oh, if you have like inflammations, the ice hockey players, they always like eat a fresh pineapple, because that's getting out the inflammation of your bodies and the whole stuff. And then I started again, and then I said, okay, now it feels better. I can also put some pressure on my palm. And then I said to myself, okay, now we are going for one international tournament not sure if it was Belgium or Dutch, but probably you will know it. But one of these tournaments, and I said, okay, I will try it again, and then I won this Dutch tournament, and I said, okay, it's working, but try again. Then I won the Belgium tournament. Okay, it's still working. Then I won the German tournament, and then I won at the end of the year the Swiss international tournament. So I said, okay, probably I'm back. That was like a good Cinderella Man story. And then, but then of course, if like in every sport, then when you have some problems with this, then you put some more focus on it and get some physiotherapists and get this treated well. And then I went back to normal. And after this, in the next months, and there was a bigger goal, was to be first time in it's some kind of the holy grail of arm wrestling, the Wimbledon of arm wrestling. Is called the Nemyov World Cup in Poland, and I attended this tournament, and there I won my first World Cup medal. There I become second place, a silver medal. That was like an awesome success, and that was so everybody in the world of arm wrestling knows this tournament is one of the most prestigious tournaments in the whole world. So that's a good story.
Is that when you sort of put yourself on the map?
Yeah, probably. So you know that in this kind of tournaments, you never know which people are entering. So even like the Swiss or Belgium international tournaments.
I still got you.
Yeah. Okay. You can hear me? Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. I can hear you
so
and see you.
let me just something happened here. Okay. If you can hear me, then I go on.
Yeah.
And so on this international tournament, like Dutch or like wherever Belgium, then you have some kind of also like the national champions are going there, but you don't have like every good guy there. And on this Nemyov World Cup, every good guy is going there because you got some money prizes there. So that's why that was like the after this one, everybody knows me.
Nice. So when did your TV appearance happen?
So the first one it was funny because I can directly remember it. It was in 2000, so a little back. In 2009, I got like an email. So besides this U Sport stuff in Europe, but besides this, I got like an email, and I was telling my mom, oh, I got like an email for invitation for a television show. Oh, that's so great. So what's this kind of television show? I said, yeah, it's some kind of they have to guess what's my job or what's my profession or what's my sport is. I said, oh yeah, that's great. And at the end I said, yeah, and by the way, it's in Tokyo, Japan. So so in 2009 I went to Japan, first time out of Europe for myself, still young. Went to this huge television show where I had this appearance with, I guess the audience were like 22 million people, so that was big. And after this, so some months later, I went to South Korea to pull on a television show, the South Korean international champion there, and very cool stuff. In 2011, I got an inquiry for Stanley Superhuman, a show in Los Angeles called, and they had to pull like a robot. So they constructed like an arm wrestling robot, which I had to pull. And so Stanley said my name and described me, which is very cool. But I'm very proud of a comic fan. And I got this arm wrestling robot that they especially constructed for me. Yeah, and in one of the rounds, I destroyed the whole robot and ripped off his arm. So that was so I destroyed the whole good work of this cyber institute. That was cool. We got this on tape, and I also got the arm as a trophy. And I can't tell you how hard it is to have a robot arm in your carry-on the So on all airports, I was flying with 2 stops, and on every airport, what's this? That's a robo arm. why you have a robo arm in your hand luggage? Yeah, because I ripped him off in an arm wrestling match. What? That's why I had to describe the whole stuff in Los Angeles and Paris, wherever. So that was very cool from the television side, and also like good for myself and for the sport.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, ripping off a robot arm,
Yeah.
that's insane. So how did they construct it then? How did they how did they figure out what sort of pounds or, of pressure to use for for the hydraulics and stuff?
So they were had like a science institute for this, and
Okay.
so I don't know how they constructed it, but it was like made of metal, and because on arm wrestling you always like twist your body in, and I ripped them off on the where two metal plates go together, but it was made of metal, and at the end as a hand you had like some kind of so like the same a material like the microphone where I can grab it. So it was not like a real hand, but it was more like a strong leverage arm. So, but Charlie's dead, or Charlie's arm is dead, and it's still one of my trophies in my gym.
Nice. Yeah. I would definitely still have that as well. Definitely, without a shadow of a doubt. So that leads us on to 2013.
Yep.
Which
For the New York World Cup, that was the end of this year.
And how did that go?
As I told you, that was a high class tournament where I put my name on the map. So that was in the end of 2013. This was this Nimir World Cup, the Wimbledon of arm wrestling.
So that's brought you in. So when you're there with that, like, did you pay for everything to get you there? Your hotel, everything.
Yeah. So my club is like it's a VfL Wolfsburg, and we get like a little support. But you cannot cover all your costs with this. So, for example, I had like world championships in Poland or in Bulgaria, which is fine to go to this. But 3 years in a row, we had like world championships in the US, Brazil, and Kazakhstan, which is much more expensive to go there. And we always try when we go there, not just to enter the tournament also, but to get known to the country, to check out some sites, and to meet some nice people. So we always try to spend more days there than just the tournament. So that's also like getting cool. So I speak a couple of languages, which is also cool for training to go there. And yeah, so but it's very costly. So we don't get any support from the government or from any committees or from the federation. So we got like a little of from our club, but it's not enough. So you have to cover the costs by yourself or to get some sponsors. Yeah.
Yeah. You can see on your shirt you've got a fair few sponsors. When did they start sort of coming around?
It started. I can't. So the TV jobs are always like well paid, as I told you, like in Asia. So that's why I always like go there, save the money, and then spend it for some tournaments. And yeah, so doing the last, I did some kind of appearance somewhere. Then I also like organizing some amateur tournaments on this kind of events where I got a little of money, and yeah, some sponsors starting it directly. So after 2013, where I won that's a prize money tournament where I got like a couple of hundreds just when you're successful. So that's the point. So you just win some money when you're on top 3. But of course, as the class is stacked with 20 people, 17 people don't get any money out of it. So in our country, or from our perspective, especially out of Western Europe, what I can tell you, it's different. Like in Russia or Turkey, whatever, they get like some kind of governmental support, but I guess not from Western Europe. Yeah. And so during the last year, so especially after 2013, there were some nice companies who supported me for a couple of tournaments or times.
Nice. So moving on to 2014 then.
Yeah. So basically I went on with like competing in some different kind of tournaments, and some I just have to check my list where I was there. So sometimes it's swimming, because got more successful in the international tournaments. So like in 2014, I went for German championships as well. I also like did some tournaments in the Netherlands, did some super matches, went for 6th place on world championships in Lithuania. And that's like during this time, I got more and more used to enter some higher classes. Then in 2015, I went also like for world championships to Malaysia, Kuala Lumpur, where I become 4th place. And I can tell you that's the worst place to get 4th. And yeah, but during the next years, especially after 2013, I won many international tournaments, but didn't came as high as European or World Championships. I also tried myself in like a higher weight class to 75 kg, but you have to imagine when you go in a higher weight class, even if it's just 5 kg higher, the guys who are there dropping some weight. So, for example, if I go there with 73 kg in the 75 kg class, normally guys dropping down from more than 80 kg to 75. So that's also like big difference in it. So that's why I kept most of the time for World and European Championships the 70 kg class, and just entered bigger classes on international tournaments to get to get used to some hard matches.
Yeah, nice. So when did it all start coming together then? And obviously, when did it? At what point did it start coming together to obviously put you at the pinnacle as of last year?
Yeah. So we got like especially like European Championships in 2019. We are in Greece. We also got fourth place, which is like, but doing on this bigger classes or like on this high classes, it's always like very little details which are deciding if you're successful, if you're 2nd place or 8th place, whatever. So it's very tight on the top. And yeah, and after this there become we got like some split in the federation, so the sport become a little bit different. And we also like changed some kinds of training, but especially after this, that I got the feeling that I can like beat everyone on the table. I don't know if it's like some experience, of course, as I told you in the last episode, become more professional with my equipment at home, and even got like the right training partners. And then I was very well prepared for the World Championships in 2019, but we always like pull on one day. So, and I got like the flu and some fever before, so I couldn't attend as good as possible. But I got like a very eye-opening training in Latvia with like a very good arm wrestling coach. He's called Ray, very popular in the world of arm wrestling. And I got some awesome training methods. And I was still training in 2019 for this, but then I got this illness there. But after it, I won like 2nd place on European Championships, and especially like I know what I did wrong, and in 2002 in France, I become world champion in the 70 kg class, finally.
Nice. So on the lead up to that, then, so you're with your training, obviously you said you got more professional with it, and obviously with the training partners and stuff like that. How often are you training leading up to like the big, like the worlds? Are you up in your training sessions each day, or like within the day you doing more sessions? Like, how do you figure that out?
Yeah, so it's always like a type question, and it's always like I get like a normal job, so it's a matter of time. And since we have our house here, then it's much easier to go, so you don't have any excuses, because the basement is right next to the house. So that's why I can do a little, but in this kind of off season, like especially like after tournaments, and I do like a break, not too long. And I often do like some kind of very basic training, like pull-ups, like push-ups at the moment, and this arm wrestling training when I'm not directly preparing for tournaments. And most of the time I go one times a week for sparring a little bit to get some blood in the body. But that's like some normal little weight training, some hammer curls, some pull-ups, but to keep the body flowing. But when you go like for 8 to 10 tournaments a year, it's like not often that you don't train anything.
Yeah.
It's more like if you go for recoveries and you don't do too much, but probably I'm training like 9 to 10 months a year, not as intensive, but depends always like on the level or what's next.
So, what do you do for recovery then?
So basically like some cardio stuff and some low weights with more repetitions, like to get some blood and then I drink like a lot of water and also like go for a physiotherapist to get like some treatment on my muscles, but nothing too special.
Okay. Is there anything else you want to talk about before we close out the episode?
Yeah, I would love also like, of course I'm like got this unique body type for the whole stuff, but especially like when you have like you got many guys on the internet, especially like in the world of social media, which are not very friendly and sometimes feel like they try to treat people not nice with comments or the whole stuff. So of course I experience it, especially like when you're getting like more and more used to social media. And but beside myself and traveling and sport and the whole stuff, I always like love to do this for because I got a lot of response from people around the world which are saying like, mostly parents, oh yeah, my son have like also like a big arm or whatever, and he saw you on television, and one of guy from Mexico said, oh, now he got his Hellboy super arm or whatever, and that's always like so lovely and so heartwarming. And that's like probably my path and my way to show the people you don't need a bazooka arm or whatever, but that's a thing that you have to make the best out of your conditions which are giving you. And especially like I was born like for arm wrestling, but I guess everybody can find something which is he like built for, or which is like the prediction of the universe for him. So that's like very important for myself, besides the whole sporty side, to make arm wrestling big and to go for some stuff. But that's like probably like the duty of my life.
Yeah. Well, the people that give you hate online and stuff like that, that's just, people being arseholes, really. I wouldn't take any notice of that. I get the odd comment and stuff like that. You've just got to ignore it, really.
Yeah,
Is the
I
only
know,
thing.
I know it's like, but you don't have to. So that's more normally the people who are, if they would see me in person, they would not say
Yeah,
anything, or
100%.
maybe like go for, can we do a photo. So that's why. But
Yeah,
that maybe like the development of the internet, and some guys thinking that they are can root on the internet, some keyboard heroes which are like
yeah,
frustrated or lonely or whatever. But you have to be focused more on the guys who like your stuff or support you, and don't be on the small percentage of people, because I guess most of the guys are good, but some are not, and don't put the focus on these guys.
yeah. I heard it before, and tell you now, you'll never hear, you never meet a hater doing better than you.
Thank you.
And that's exactly right. Would you just quickly, because I do this with every guest, we've only got about 4 minutes left, but I reckon we can squeeze it in.
Yeah,
Have
sure.
you got any advice that you would give to anyone getting into the sport of arm wrestling?
Yeah, so the best thing is like, it's now much easier to go for YouTube and to go for the internet and check some stuff. And then the best way is like to find some people around the world or some clubs next to Europe. It's not as common as football clubs or whatever, but there will definitely be some guys doing arm wrestling in some clubs around you or some gyms, and then go for training and just first learn the technique and don't injure yourself, because there are many bad arm breaks on the internet. But that's not the sport, so that's why that's mostly happening to people which don't know the technique. So easiest way is like go for first for the technique. It's a lovely sport, and it's a only real gladiator sport in the whole world. So you win alone, but also you lose alone. It's tough, but I love it. Would never change something.
Yeah, well, brilliant. Well, thank you very much for coming on the podcast today, Matty. Would you want to give everyone your social media handles?
Yeah, sure. So if you're interested in myself or the sport or whatever, then just go for Instagram, for TikTok, or for YouTube. I'm on some couple of YouTube videos also, like in English language, on Hellboy Arm Wrestling Entertainment. And if you just type in the real Hellboy in Instagram or Arm Wrestling Hellboy in TikTok, you will definitely find me. Just put Hellboy and Arm Wrestling in, and then it's me. It's a me, Hellboy.
Well, brilliant. Well, like I said, thank you very much for coming on the podcast today, Matty. It's been an absolute pleasure talking to you and finding out about your life and your journey. So thank you.
Thanks for having me. It was very nice.
Not a problem. Thank you very much for listening, everybody.